good morning to you all. Quasidb morning bulletin on the 6th of September 2022. We've got US PMI later, so we've got to pay attention to that. It's going to be a big mover. The risk calculation is risk off at the big picture. However, the 24-hour difference wasn't a huge shift. So if we see a small shift tomorrow, it tells us that we could potentially be topping out on this and we might be reversing. Note that the VIX is being crushed. And I believe that the Fed have got something to do with that. They really don't want that to run rampant. If it does, we're going to have a huge risk-off event, and they obviously don't want that to happen. So I think they're crushing this down on purpose. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe there must be they're intervening on that because they're trying to keep things contained. So keep an eye on 26.5. If it goes above that, then that's going to be quite risk off on the VIX. Okay, note the pound has shifted a lot and the Kiwi has shifted a lot too. However, we should be seeing small bubbles up here. Okay, when we're not on the euro, Kiwi or Aussie. That's okay size, because what's happened with the pound is that they shorted it, so price should go up. The size represents physical performance. Okay, so that would be normal because they shorted it, price went up. And however, the Kiwi, they've gone long, but price has gone up. So it should probably be falling for euro and New Zealand dollar. And the yields rose at the long dated and they fell at the 3 month. So that's that. And we'll risk off on the yield curve. I'm going to make an SLC video after this because I want to talk about the stop loss clusters and where the liquidity targets are, because a lot of the stops got taken out while I was making this bulletin. Oil is the largest sell. Dollar Swiss also notable mover. Euro Yen and the S&P. Try and get the colours to align. So what we're seeing is the euro, the pound, and the CAD. They're trying to fight back against the USD. Very much on the back foot. All these crosses against the dollar. So if we see a reversal, it should help the risk appetite up here. So if we do see a USD softening, it might indicate a little reversal on risk, and we potentially could rally on risk. So we want that risk calculation to slow down a little bit tomorrow, and if it does, then it'll tell us that we're going to potentially reverse on risk, and this will help bolster that idea. As a soft USD will help. So there's the performance from yesterday. Note that it was US holiday yesterday and it was very quiet. Aussie is lagging and the dollar yen is leading. That's on a complete tear, and I'll cover those stops on the video as well, so you can see where they've got their stops on UJ. That's going incredibly well, so I'm very, very happy, and I explained the logic behind it as well, so you understand the logic. If you understand why things were a buy, then it empowers you. And it makes you have more confidence on your trades. This is how we are right now. So whether or not they're going to move this way or that way, we don't know. You'd want to get a copy of the trading station so you can see. So get a copy of that. S&P, very, very sideways. So there isn't much to be said here. Now, this is that range I talked about yesterday. We could be contained within that range, and it's quite large. And we might just chip chop. We might just chop in between those two values there, that high and that low, and we're probably going to try and flush out these retail guys in order for us to break that high. We won't break that high if we're still a sell here, so we might need to fall first and then we can rally. So that's the logic there. US 30, they've gone long, so we should be falling, but probably going to chop between those two values. It's interesting, it did pretty much similar. It's like wick here, this candle, similar candle there. It's a flush out candle because I wanted to get those lows. So that's that. DAX is making a buy, but it's a risky buy because at a high level it's a sell. They're 56% long. So if you were to buy it, you would be joining the herd. However, a reduction of longs is bullish, and that's what we saw on our trade of the day. And that's why that's performed well, is because we're looking at the dynamic value, not necessarily the static value. 56.6 is just a number, just telling us how they're positioned right now, but what's going to happen in time. That's incredibly more powerful. And that's why we need to be looking at the flow. It's much more important than the static. The dynamic is more powerful. Gold, they've gone long ever so slightly, but what it might do, it might teeter up and down and chop on this MA. We see we're very sideways. Like a lot of things, to be honest, we're quite sideways because we had the holiday yesterday. Liquidity targets, here we are. So note the EU, GU were large movers. They shorted it. We had some late bears enter. And of course, when they came in as a herd, then price reverses and they get punished. So that's the logic. A lot of mismatch. There's a lot of mismatch. So be careful. And anything that is aligning is EJ, GJ, and gold. Everything else is out of bonk. So this adds to the idea that we could be reversing on risk, but let's wait for tomorrow on the risk calculation. Failure rate 61% is better than it was yesterday. We didn't breach 60% all day, and so that should be higher. About 80% of the time, the retail traders should be at a loss. So we should see this about 80%. So 60, 70, 80% would be normal. Below 50, that wouldn't be right. And we had that occurred quite a few times yesterday. We did breach below 50%, telling us that the retail guys were making profits, and that would be unusual. So we had Kiwi CAD, we had a 13 pips profit. Today's signal is significantly better. However, we do want them to remain bearish on that particular instrument. If they decide to switch, then it's going to result in a negative trade. So what I'm going to probably do after this video, I'm going to do an indices video, and I'm going to look at the stop loss clusters. Then I'm going to focus on my trades because I want to keep an eye on those two trades I've got. Technically, we're extreme. This could be veering away potentially, but the indicators are saying sell and they're saying buy, UJ, dollar Swiss buy, for example. So this could be switching soon, maybe. Economic calendar, PMI, and that's that. So just keep an eye on those numbers. They're going to be checked by the Fed. And we've got a Powell speech on Thursday, and we've got ECB on Thursday as well. So be very careful. I'm going to wrap up now so I can talk about the indices. After that, I'm going to talk about the stop loss clusters. Then I'm going to focus on my trade. So have a great day. I'll speak to you soon.